Hello and welcome to this second video on function notation. In this video we're going to learn how to substitute a value into a function. So here we've been given a function. It says f of x equals 7x subtract 9, and we're challenged to find these. So we have f of 5. When you see something like f of 5, all that means is you need to replace all of the x's in your function with the number 5. Since the f of x here has been replaced with f of 5, the x is replaced with a 5. So we go along and look at our function here where it says 7x subtract 9. We're just going to change that x there for a 5. So we've got 7 5s rather than 7 x's, subtract 9. And then we just work that out. 7 5s, 35, subtract 9, 26. So f of 5 would have the value 26. F of 1, however, means that we replace the x with a 1, not a 5, but a 1. So 7 lots of 1 is 7, take away 9 from that, you get negative 2. And so on. So f of 0.5 means change the x for a 0.5, and we've still got subtract 9. So 7 0.5s are 3.5, subtract 9 from that is negative 5.5. We have f of negative 4, means 7 lots of negative 4, subtract 9. 7 lots of negative 4 is negative 28. Take 9 from that and you get negative 37. So in review there, whenever you see something here like f of 5, all that means is change all of the x's in the function for 5s. So here are a few for you to have a go at then. If you press pause, write down your answers to these and then press play again and I'll tell you what the answers were. So for this first one here you have f of 7, means do 3 lots of 7, add 4, and that comes out as 21 add 4, which is 25. F of 2, 3 lots of 2, add 4, which is 6 add 4, which is 10. F of negative 5 is 3 lots of negative 5, which would be negative 15. When you add 4 to that, you get negative 11. For this one, we got f of x is x squared minus 4, so we're going to need to do 5 squared, take 4, which is 21. This one we're going to need to do 2 squared, take 4, which is 0, and this last one here, negative 3 squared, take 4. And you've got to be very careful here, because negative 3 squared I've put in brackets, because a negative times a negative is a positive, so this comes out as 9 take 4, which is 5. If you wrote negative 3 squared, you'd actually be talking about negative 9, so you always be careful with brackets when you have negative numbers, and you won't run into that mistake. And the final question here, we've got f of x is x plus 8 over 3. So for the first one we've got 1 plus 8 over 3. Well, 1 plus 8, that's 9, over 3 is 3. This one we have 7 plus 8 over 3. 7 add 8 is 15, divide 3 is 5. And finally negative 5 plus 8 over 3. Negative 5 plus 8 is 3, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. Okay, a slightly more tricky example here where we've got x squared plus 2x minus 1 as our function, so that's a quadratic expression. We have f of 4, but we do exactly the same thing, only x appears more than once. So we're going to replace all of the x's in this first one with a 4. So we have 4 squared plus 2 times 4, subtract 1. 4 squared is 16, 2 4s are 8, take 1, 16 add 8, 24, take 1, 23. So in this one all of the x's are going to be replaced with 2's. So I end up with 2 squared 4, 2 times 2 also 4, take 1, that gives me 7. In this one f of negative 4, and just like on the previous practice questions, when you substitute in a negative, make sure you're using brackets. So negative 4 squared plus 2 lots of negative 4, subtract 1. Negative 4 squared 16, 2 lots of negative 4, negative 8, subtract 1. So 16 take 8 is 8, take 1 gives us 7. And f of 10, so we've got 10 squared plus 2 lots of 10, take away 1 is 100, plus 20, take away 1 from that gives us 119. So in functions where x appears more than once, you replace all of the x's with that number, and take care with negatives when substituting those in, make sure you use brackets. So here are 3 sets for you to have a go at. Press pause, have a go at these, and then when you want the answers, press play and I'll tell you what they were. So for this first one here, we have 10 squared plus 5 lots of 10, subtract 3. 10 squared is 100, 5 tens are 50, and then take 3, you get 147. For this one here, we've got 4 squared plus 5 lots of 4, subtract 3. So we've got 16 at 20 is 36, take 3 is 33. F of negative 3 squared plus 5 lots, negative 3, subtract 3. Well, negative 3 squared, that's 9. And we're going to take 15 from that, from this, and then we're going to take another 3 from that. So altogether we're taking 18, so we end up with negative 9. And for this one here, we've got 3 squared, subtract 2 lots of 3. Sorry, I don't know why that 2's ended up like that. Let's make that look a bit better. We've got 3 squared, which is 9, take away 2 lots of 3, that's 6, so we end up with 3. This one, 4 squared, subtract 2 lots of 4, 16, take 8 is 8. And finally, f of 0, well, 0 squared, take away 2 lots of 0, is just 0. And the last question, finally, we have 50, take away 6x, so we 50, take away 6 lots of 3, 6 3s are 18, 50 take 18, is 32, and then 50 take 6 lots of 5, 6 5s are 30, 50 take 30 is 20, and finally 50 take away 6 lots of negative 3. Very careful here, so negative 6 multiplied negative 3 is a positive 18, so 50 add 18 is 68. So the final answer there, 68. That completes your video on function notation part 2.